Good evening, everyone. And thank you for once again for joining us for our bi-weekly guided meditation and Dharma talk here at the Blue Lotus Meditation and Mindfulness Center here in beautiful central Minnesota. Today is September 19th, 2022. Wow. Fall equinox, the autumnal equinox, right? Getting ready to happen, right? Changing seasons, changing perspectives, bundling up, right? If you're in the northern latitudes or if you're in the equatorial or southern hemisphere, you may be getting ready to encounter spring, right? Opposite seasons in opposite hemispheres as we approach, or as our seasons change. It's kind of a very interesting result of Earth's tilt. Kind of cool. And we get those opposite seasons. Anyway, I am very grateful for your kind presence this evening and while we explore using mindfulness to really understand what we have so often been told is a failure or a success. And so we'll explore, maybe grow our perspectives on how we understand and where do those thoughts come from as we navigate our lives, as we meet new people and try new things. What's a success and what's a failure? But before we begin, why don't we start off on a nice, relaxing meditation, naming our emotions or our feelings. And that really has a lot of bearing with tonight's talk, right? Understanding success and failure. So understanding our feelings and then starting off by naming them. But go ahead and just sit quietly for a few moments as you settle in. Go ahead and close your eyes if you choose to. Perhaps you like to keep them just slightly open, a little soft focus, maybe looking down at your feet. Or perhaps you're laying back on your back, and that's fine too. Breathe in. Pause. Slowly exhale. And while as you continue to settle into your position, remember to put that half smile on your face. Notice the feelings of your breath entering and leaving your body. Notice the sounds around you or any sensations on your skin. Or the sensations within your body. Notice any thoughts that might be floating to the surface. Imagine these thoughts as icebergs. The thought is what we see above the surface of the water. And beneath the surface, that much larger part is an emotion, or maybe several emotions. For example, if we're thinking about a long to-do list and how we're never going to get it done, the emotion below the surface may be anxiety or guilt. If we're struggling with an argument that we had with a loved one, the underlying energy might be sadness or a feeling of abandonment. And what emotions are beneath your thoughts now? And if you're able, name these emotions out loud. When you notice the temptation to get lost in the story, maybe I feel sad or I don't know what to do, just gently return to that emotion. I feel sad. I feel angry. I feel hurt. I feel lonely. Notice if there are any emotions lurking around that might feel less difficult. Is there any joy or excitement? Know that there is space for those emotions to coexist. And every time a thought arises, name the emotion beneath it, that large, often unseen part of that iceberg. Continue naming any of those emotions till it feels as if you've named them all. And breathe in. Pause. Slowly exhale. And once you feel like you've named all of those current emotions, don't worry if more arise. See if you can feel where those emotions are living in your body. And this is a practice that takes some time to establish, so be patient with yourself. We're not accustomed to taking note of what we're feeling in our bodies, unless it's pain or an open wound of some sort. And one way to do this is to look for any tingling or tightness Emotions can also show up as fluttery feelings or clenching. Or perhaps you may even feel actual pain. Try going slowly through your body, bit by bit. Keep things simple. Do you notice any sensation of emotion in your throat or your head or your neck? Maybe your upper chest or your upper back. Space around your heart, maybe. Travel through your shoulders, your upper arms, and your hands. Bring awareness to your stomach area. Your lower belly and pelvis area. Bring your consciousness to your seat and to your lower back. Your legs and your feet. If you've noticed any feelings in any of those places, just observe them, but don't interact. Note them, but don't try to change them. Be curious, but compassionate. It's human to have emotions. If we are alive, we are feeling them in our physical body. If we've been busy or preoccupied for some time, we may not have noticed those feelings until now. Or we may not want to experience those emotions at all. See if you can allow your feelings just to be there. Just pull up a chair next to that fluttering or that buzzing and just experience it, looking at it, being aware of it. Notice if any fear comes up around while you're doing that, which is natural if it does. If something feels too traumatic or jarring, and it doesn't feel safe to feel, please let it go. Notice if there's a message in your body or yourself needs to hear right now. It could be, I'm here. It might be, you are loved, or I am loved. Some other examples that might work. It's safe to feel this. You're doing your best in this very moment. I am forgiven. I am worthy. And as you say those affirmations, you're also invited to perhaps put your hand on your heart or on your chest as you say them. And then just repeat those affirmations to yourself, kindly and gently, till you notice that shift. And then gently let it go. Go ahead and begin to open your eyes, bringing awareness to your current surroundings before you stand, if you do, or reposition. Wonderful. Wonderful. Very good, everyone. So naming our feelings is vital when we bring a mindful approach to what we consider or what we've been taught is failure or success. So that's one of the first steps, and we'll actually talk about that a little bit more as we get into our talk this evening. But when we consider failure and success, think about what we do sometimes. How often do we compare ourselves to others' achievements? Think about that. How often do we do that? If we don't measure up, right, to someone else, we may begin to feel some unworthiness in ourselves. And that mindset in itself, that unworthiness, that feeling or those thoughts of unworthiness, that mindset takes us from that middle path, which as mindfulness practitioners, we try to follow that middle path. What about when we achieve our goal, right? Perhaps we may even begin to view ourselves as superior to others. Maybe some arrogance begins to bloom within us. And that too, that mindset as well, takes us from that middle path. We can certainly celebrate our accomplishments, and we can certainly be mindful of maybe a goal or a task we weren't able to successfully complete. And we try to maintain that middle path. And we have been taught in society that in order to be successful, you have to have accomplished a number of things, right? Any number of items from some arbitrary checklist, right? A college degree, marriage, a specific career, a certain type of car, certain income level, and a home to match. And if you don't achieve those tangible accomplishments, could be considered a failure. Suppose you completed 4 of them, 4 or 5. Suppose you completed none of them. many societal checklists of what is considered success never even mention happiness or well-being or balance. It always seemed to be accumulating more and more is a definition of success. Therefore, it is up to you, that awareness inside you, it's up to you and you alone to cultivate and nurture your own balance and well-being by shifting your definition of what it means to be a success and what it means to be a failure. That is your power, your middle path. So how may we use mindfulness to better approach our perspective of what is success and failure? We could ignore and remove all of those tangible items or checklist things that we have, whether it's a diploma on the wall or a lucrative career. Let's ignore those. Abandon those ideas of what those represent. So we may begin by recognizing and labeling our emotions that arise with either of those instances of success or failure, just like in that guided meditation. Identify those emotions and those feelings with either one of those situations, success or failure. And ask yourself, does this emotion promote well-being? Does this emotion promote arrogance? Does this emotion bring about divisiveness between myself and others? Does this emotion promote superiority over another? Does this emotion promote inferiority to another? Is this emotion nurturing or healing? Those are perspectives that we can address each time we encounter a successful result or one that doesn't come out the way we anticipated. Just a little checklist that you can kind of go through instead of that societal checklist. Examine your emotional checklist. Then, after recognizing and labeling those emotions, just state, I simply bring mindful awareness to where I am. For example, I'm in my room. I'm outside. I hear cars. I hear people talking. I hear birds. I feel a cool breeze. Or I feel sweat dripping down my forehead. And so identifying your emotions bringing awareness to where you are brings you into that present moment, into that middle path again. So simply identifying what's around you, using your five senses again, combined with identifying those emotions, brings you back to that middle path. And those above reflections, those questions, they're vital. Right? They're vital because they do help you go back to that center path, which is where we want to be. And then in doing so, you realize that regardless of whether you have succeeded or failed, you're alive in this present moment. That succeeding or failing is irrelevant to what you already are. So then that may ask the question, what am I? Right? What am I? Well, you're a conscious being. You're consciously aware that being alive is the gift in itself. And with this gift, you can continue to do good towards all, performing kind deeds to those in need, and to help ease those suffering by those deeds. And that in itself is the miracle of the gift you receive every morning when you wake up. So whenever something occurs in my life, I like to think about it like water. Water is going to continuously flow. It doesn't succeed, it doesn't fail, right? It simply flows. When an obstacle arises in its path, it doesn't complain, doesn't get angry. It effortlessly just flows around. Water doesn't need to do anything to get where it's going. It simply flows along its own middle path. So when something that may be considered failure or success occurs in your life, continue to do those kind deeds for others, nurturing your well-being and theirs. Helping others brings us back to our middle path as well. But continue to simply just flow along your own middle path with gratitude for what you already have. It's there. You don't need to do anything else. So great. Thank you. So, our next Dharma talk will be on October 3rd, same time, so in 2 weeks from now, 6 to 6:30. Interesting and an exciting offering that we have is our teacher training. It begins October 3rd as well. Everything that we do is donation-based. No one has ever turned away from any of our activities. For any financial reasons. That's not why we're here. We're here to help and bring about the well-being that the world desperately needs. So that's why you are always invited, never turned away. And so with that teacher training, we also have our weekly sanghas. right? Our healing sanghas, our veterans, new beginnings, addictions, rainbows and teens. Check our schedules below and for the link, and you're welcome to just come in and join. Listen if you like, participate if you like, up to you. Nurturing ourselves. And if you do like our live streams and our offerings, and you find value in them, please do consider liking and subscribing to our channel. It helps us so we can continue the work that we do to help others. And with that, my friends, see you in 2 weeks, and I wish you all peace, ease, and well-being. Take care, my friends.